full knowledge that it
Australian nurses threatened to kill patients. These two here, the man was an Afghanistani refugee, and the lady there openly saying that they'll kill Australian patients. That's how bad it's got in Australia. So please don't go into hospital around Bankstown, because that's what's happened.
It's just rubbish. I think this is a really, really sad and awful case, Caleb, where in this case, one of the people involved in this has previously spoken about how he was an Afghan refugee. He was given a new life. He came to Australia, came into the healthcare system, was given a job. And for someone to be speaking in this way and making it so obvious they're part of the health system is just disgusting. And I also think it's another example of what people are sick of, where we have this beautiful country in Australia. We're so lucky to live here. For anyone that is invited here or accepted here to live, whether they be a refugee or a migrant or anything else, you leave the hate at the door. Leave it at the door and you move on and you accept what Australia is all about. And for people to be speaking like this, given everything that's gone on, is just horrific. And I applaud the New South Wales health system for taking the action they have today.
Indeed, and this is the point I made before, James Morrow, that you import cultures that are anathema to those of your country, and this is eventually where you end up. We are starting to see all of this unravel before our very eyes, and the Prime Minister can stand there and say, oh, well, we should turn the temperature down, etc. It's gone too far.
Well, yeah, it has gone too far, but, Caleb, this is something that a lot of people have been warning about for an awful long time, for 10, 20 years now, that the multicultural compact can only survive in a tolerant country where everybody subscribes to the same rules of tolerance. And the thing is, we've been told forever that, multiculturalism is wonderful, diversity is our strength. Think of the cuisines and the restaurants and all the vibrancy, but we see this in Europe, we see this sometimes in the United States, we see this here, and we've seen it an awful lot since October 7th. We've seen that some cultures have real problems, not only with Jewish people, but also with Israel, with Western values. We saw the treatment of Liam Mendes from the Australian, where they took his phone and then threatened to take it if he didn't delete the film footage, and then they had to be reminded that it's a democracy and you're allowed as a journalist to actually do things like film people in public. We need to have a really hard conversation about multiculturalism, migration. At the same time, for whatever reason, we've got Anthony Albanese bringing in 3,000 people from Gaza on tourist visas with God knows what checking about their attitudes. I'm sorry, who we bring into this country is a choice, and we have not exercised it responsibly. We have used it for ethnic spoils purposes in local politics, and it has been a disaster, and we are seeing that play out time and again. This is only the latest example, Caleb, and we're going to see it happen again and again.